Good day, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. So, today we're going to be discussing One Piece chapter 1025 titled Twin Dragons. Of course, spoiler warning before we begin. So, yeah. So, the first thing to notice is the cover page of this week's chapter is a request, but it's pretty funny because it's Usopp dressed like Goldie Roger, which is Jolly Roger with a long nose, and he's telling a story to two baby birds, it seems, while an octopus is writing the story. And one of the story pages has Big Liar story on it, so that's pretty funny. Um, so yes, the next thing now we jump straight into the chapter and we see it is Luffy on top of Momo trying to get him to fly, but Momo is still afraid of heights even though he's become a dragon, or an adult dragon that is. And Luffy is berating him, of course, and telling him like, you're an adult now, you should be able to conquer that fear. So it's pretty funny. But after that little scene with Luffy and Momo back and forth about the heights, we cut to Yamato and Kaido, and we see Yamato use a new move called Mountain Mirror, and this was a defensive move she used. It's called Mirror Mountain. Sorry, not Mountain Mirror. Mirror Mountain, and it's a defensive move, kind of like if you watch Naruto, you know how Kara had sand on his body like a shell to protect him. So it looks kind of like that because a shell breaks off of Yamato after she's hit by Kaido's attack after they clash. So that's interesting, very interesting. And then we get a back and forth with them and some new attacks. So, of course, Kaido is there asking, why are you kind of, why are you defending this? You can't escape your bloodline, You'll always still be the son of Kaido regardless of what happens. Yamato uses a new attack here again called Hollowed Glacial Slash. So we get a few new attacks from her, and she smacks Kaido in the head, but it does him nothing. He's still swinging back at her, and she's on the defensive. And then she swings and smashes him in the face and tells him to shut up, it doesn't matter. And then we get a mini sad flashback again, because Kaido tells her, everyone who was your friend died, or who tried to help you died. And we get this because she says she wasn't alone, because he implies that she was alone. He says you're alone, you have no friends. But she says, no, I did have friends. And we see like flashback of Ace, or a picture of Ace. And then we get the little flashback with her as a kid, and we see one of Kaido's men actually gave her food and a blanket when he would mistreat her, and Kaido killed the man. So anybody who was nice to Yamato, Kaido killed. But yeah, and then Kaido slams her into the ground, and we get an interesting line throughout the back and forth of him berating her. And he says, you must rule others with strength. You are the child of ogres. So this leads me to believe that Kaido isn't actually full human. Maybe he is an ogre or Oni of some sort. So we need clarification on that. So I think it's time we get a Kaido flashback to verify his race, maybe. And then there's a panel where he says, you aren't meant to be friends with humans. You're meant to rule them against your ogre. And we see a panel with his face looking pretty gnarly, and he's about to smack Yamato. But this leads into an interesting panel, because we then cut away from them and we see Momo has finally begun to fly, but he begins to fly by closing his eye, and this leads him into crashing into the live hall, or the performance hall. So when he crashes in, everybody sees him because he was trying to get to the roof, and because his eyes are closed, he crashed. And Luffy is like, no, that is not the roof. Bash into the dome. So everyone sees a pink dragon crashing into the performance hall. So we see the reactions to Luffy, of course, crashing into it. Then we see Zoro, King, Kawamatsu, the whole squad, even Marco and Izo. And Marco has what seems to be a tiny smile on his face. And then, still with his eyes closed, Momo crashes through another floor. And then I guess that would be the first floor he crashes into, and then he crashes into the second floor where Kid, Law, and Big Mama are fighting. And we see Kid is like, what the? And Law is like, straw hat. And Luffy has a worried, kind of goofy face. And Big Mama is like, what is happening? And they continue to crash into walls and whatnot. And we hear the men on, or Kaido's men are wondering why Kaido is on a rampage. And one of them says, well, it isn't really a rampage. It's more of a different dragon because this one is pink in color. So who is it? Find out who it is. So we then get Momo finally escapes through the dome and we see Yamato is looking at Kaido, and in that panel while she's looking at Kaido, we see Momo in the background. And she does a new attack called, or prepares a new attack. And the beginning of the attack's name is Divine Swiftness. And at the same time, Luffy spots Kaido and he's like, Momo, there's Kaido. And this is when Momo finally opens his eyes and gets brave, and Luffy goes into gear for Snake Man. And Yamato and Luffy fire off their attacks and hit Kaido at the same time. So Yamato's attack is Divine Swiftness, White Serpent, Snake themed, and then Luffy, of course, gave for Snake Man, Jet Colverian. So 2 snake attacks hit Kaido dead on in the face and knocked him back. Then we see basically Luffy and Yamato reunite and they greet each other, and Luffy is happy. He's like, oh, Yamato, you were holding Kaido back for us. Thank you so much. And she's happy Luffy's still alive. And this is where we get the face off now on the next page, the last page. And the last page is Kaido is back into his dragon form facing off Momo, and Luffy is standing on Momo. And this is interesting because if you look at the 2 dragon faces side by side, you can see they're identical with the horns. For the most part, at least, the horns are semi-identical. The facial features, and of course that's because they probably use Kaido's lineage factor to create his devil fruit, which we kind of need more information on, in my opinion, because we haven't gotten much on Vegapunk and how he created that perfect devil fruit that is. So yeah, and then Luffy proclaims, "I am not defeated," because Kaido says, "How are you still alive?" So Luffy's like, "You can't kill me. I'm the man who will become king of the pirates." Usual Luffy stuff. But it's interesting because Momo takes a book out of Luffy's page now and he says, "I am Kozuki Momonosuke, the man who will become the shogun of Wano." And Yamato is shocked to see Momo in this adult dragon form, I guess. And Kaido ends off the chapter laughing and says, "What a surprise, that little boy." But the world doesn't need 2 dragons. And again, more for the title Twin Dragons. And again, I guess Twin Dragons referencing 2 dragons also, since Kaido is the main dragon and then Momo kind of ate a copy of his devil fruit that Vegapunk made, so it would be identical, being twins. But yeah, and the chapter ends there. So I don't think we have One Piece next week, or a chapter for One Piece next week, but I actually really enjoyed this chapter because we finally got to see Momo doing something, even though he's still afraid of heights, but it seems he manned up when he saw Kaido there because he has that vengeance against him. So hopefully this leads to a back and forth type of fight, and then maybe we see Momo in a hybrid form using a sword. Maybe he gets his sword and uses that, and that's a clash between him and Kaido causes Kaido's Kanambo to break. Something else that I would probably like to see is later on, I would like to see maybe for the final war in One Piece when that happens, I would like Momo to be there and I would like Luffy to arrive riding on him, like how he is in this chapter on his head while his grand fleet is behind him. That would be a cool scene to see. Just Luffy, Momo, and then a fleet of ships. But yeah, all in all, good chapter. Let me know what you guys think or what you think will happen next, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye.